everybody, it's me Andrea Gomoll from Creative Creations. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to create this cute little Sailor Girl journal cover. And if you watched some of my previous videos, you already saw me create this cute Planner Girl journal cover or dashboard. Depends how you want to use it. I will talk a little more about how I use it in the end of the video, after the progress or process of creating it. Yeah, so I really like to use them as dashboards or as just wrappers or covers, temporary covers for my current journals in my traveler's notebooks, to kind of spice it up a little and to kind of make it match my current mood or the current season. Yeah, and right now it's summertime, so I'm using my current stamp set, the Sail Away Girl, because yeah, summertime is ocean time, at least for us. We're living close to the Baltic Sea in Germany, and actually that's where we're going next week. Yay! So sail away, like a maritime seashell beach theme it is for my journal right now. So yeah, without further ado, I think we will just get started to create this fun journal cover. Yeah, and again, the stamps are still available in my shop. You can click the link if you like them, if you want to use them, if you want to play with them. But of course you can just do the same thing or a similar thing. Just adapt the idea and create something similar with any type of stamp you have. Totally up to you. Yeah, so let me just think real quick. I think that is it. So I think we can jump right in and get started. And I'm kind of saying I think pretty often today. So I think we're ready to jump right in and create this. Guys, I hope you will enjoy it. Again, if you have any questions regarding the process, yeah, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to answer. Other than that, let's get started.
Okay, so let's get started. I gathered my supplies here, just a sheet of heavyweight watercolor paper, my stamp set, and I already have some stamp prints here on heavyweight smooth watercolor paper to color in later. And here I have a sheet of 22 by 22 centimeters heavyweight watercolor paper, just folding it into half so that it nicely wraps around one of those traveler's notebook regular size booklets. Of course, you go with the size that you need. Then I have this craft mat here and some distress oxide ink pad that I'm kind of just applying to the mat here, to the craft mat, and some infusion ink powders. Sorry guys, it's like with a walnut stain, and then I'm just spritzing it with some water, and yeah, just pulling my paper through the wet paint until I'm happy with the result, adding some spritzes of water as I go, sprinkling some more of the infusions powders onto the wet sheet of paper, just until I'm happy with the result. Just going back and forth, and I'm just I just like to just use a piece of leftover paper to kind of grab that excess ink. I can just use that for later for a different project maybe. Don't waste anything, right? Okay, then I'm just starting to color in my stamped images here using my aqua brush and some watercolors. Those are Prima watercolor sets. They're kind of one of my favorite brands to work with. I really love them. Love to work with them. And yeah, just applying some Caucasian skin color and some blonde hair color here. Again, with watercolor, you always kind of want to start light with a very light layer and then go darker layer by layer, and in between the different layers you want to allow some drying time, because you kind of don't want to end up with like a muddy gray, but you kind of really want to layer those translucent layers of colors on top of each other, and this kind of what gives you this vibrancy, and that's what kind of makes the images or the paintings come to life in the end. Okay, so you can see just applying a little bit of a blue here to her little dress and her little sailor hat, and always making sure, just even with applying the first layer of color, as you can see, a light layer, I'm always making sure that with this one color I already do a little bit of shading. Like here with the lighthouse, I'm making sure that the red that I applied like around the edges, or close to the edge of the lighthouse, let's put it that way, close to the edge of the lighthouse is a little darker than in the center, and this immediately gives the appearance of this rounded shape of the lighthouse. Okay, so the areas that are kind of facing away from you, that are further away, they will catch less light, so they will be a little darker. Same here with the seashell. At the top of the seashell would catch a little more light of the like sunlight, daylight, the light source. Hence the top of the seashell is a little lighter, and then I applied a little bit of some purple and blue right there at the bottom to give it a little bit of shading already. And then I'm just letting this first layer dry and going back in with the second layer, and with the third layer going darker as I go and adding more shading as I go. Like right now the skin color is just the basic skin color, and the hair is just this basic blonde hair color. And as you can see, I'm already applying a little bit of a darker blue here to give a little bit of like shadow to the lighthouse and shading to the clothes that the girl is wearing and to those stones down there by the lighthouse. So I really love to use some blue or some purple for some additional shading, just applying it to the darkest areas, like where the hair is casting a shadow and where the hair is growing out of the head. And in those areas where the hair is a little more rounded, a little more outwards, it would kind of catch a little more light. You would have more light reflections, and it is lighter. And this way you kind of create the shadows, and you keep the midtones, and you add some highlights in the end, and this kind of makes the images come to life, and this adds dimension. As you can see for the face, I'm also adding a little bit of blue just around the eyes, actually there in those areas where I want the facial or the facial features, the face areas that I kind of want to sink back into the head. That sounds strange, but I will add more darkness, and this will immediately push the areas back, and the areas that I want to pull out, I will keep those lighter because they would catch more light, and immediately they would kind of they will catch more light, and instantly they kind of come outwards. And this way you kind of sculpt the face. You create a three-dimensional impression just with a two-dimensional object like this stamped image here. Okay, as you can see, it just added some cute rosy cheeks and adding a little bit more blue here for some additional shading. Now I'm grabbing my white paint marker to add some catch lights. That's one of the last steps that I always do with my watercolor paintings. I'm just adding a little bit of a light reflection, a catch light to the eyes, and a little light reflection to the tip of the nose, to the lips, to the cheekbones, to the hair, and just basically everywhere. Just some teeny tiny light reflections, some teeny tiny white spots, and that's already, it makes a big difference. So don't skip. If you skip like some parts of the layering of the watercolor, that's fine. But don't skip that last step, because it makes all the difference with a white marker. And then I'm just cutting out my images, leaving a tiny white border around them. And then I continue to work on my background, just grabbing some stencils and this like dabber tool, and again the Distress Oxide ink pads, using the same color that I already used in the background here, just adding a tiny bit more texture, and now a little bit additional texture with the black color, with the black Distress Oxide, and using this red here with this shell stencil. And I kind of wanted to pop this color in because I know I have this red in the lighthouse and a little bit of red in the girl, so I kind of wanted to repeat that color in the background as well. Now I'm just tearing a piece out of an old book page that I kind of want to layer onto the background, and some washi tape. So I basically just gathered some supplies, some embellishments that kind of spoke to me and that kind of matched the idea that I had in my mind and kind of matched the theme and the color combination that I work in here. Yeah, just applying this book page, gluing it down, and yeah, then moving my way onwards from there. Another piece of washi tape with some seashells. Yeah, and I'm just going back and forth and moving things around, seeing where I want things to go and which elements I want to add where. And I'm just starting with my girl here, gluing it down with some collage glue, and then just again moving things around. Yeah, gluing this rope down and this golden heart. Those are just some embellishments from some like ephemera packs, scrapbooking ephemera packs that I still had lying around. Same with this anchor and with this life die cut element here. And I'm also applying some of the stamped images with 3D foam pads, just to add a little bit more depth. Of course, I don't want to like create it like two-dimensional piece, because I still wanted to go in my planner and to be nice and flat to be able to write in the booklet. But a little bit of dimension is absolutely fine, and those 3D foam pads, they work pretty good to just add a tiny bit of dimension here and some layering. Yeah, then I'm grabbing my stamp set, my Sail Away stamp set, and stamping some additional tiny design elements like some anchors and some words right onto the background, just where I think or where I thought it would need a little bit of additional design. You know me, you know my work, you know that I like it really crowded and full and colorful and busy. But hey, that's just me, so go with what speaks to you, what feels right to you, as little or as much as this might be. Yeah, and once I'm done with that, I will already call it done because I'm pretty happy with it. I like the way it looks, pretty cute. Now I'm adding it to my planner.
Yeah, and that is it, my little wrapper here. Yeah, and then I'm just using this, similar to this one that I created earlier. I can just slip that around my current booklet in my planner to kind of give it a new look, a modified look, a current themed look, yeah, or a seasonal look, without having to like switch up the whole booklet. Because if I would like, yeah, decorate the envelope of the booklet, then I would have to stick to the same like decoration of the envelope for as long as this booklet lasts. And yeah, I kind of like to, I'm not so much into like planner decoration anymore, not as much as I used to. However, I like to spice it up every now and then to kind of match it to the seasons or the current like theme that I'm into. And yeah, little wrappers like this kind of work really, really well for this. So I kind of have this cute wrapper around my booklet, and then I can just add it to my planner here. Just, whoopsie daisy, messing up the booklet. Don't want that actually. I'll just slide that in, slip that in, and you can just use a clip to kind of hold this like envelope in place. Of course, I would probably pick like a themed clip here, not a bare one. However, you get the idea. Or you could, of course, just glue this in place with some non-permanent glue. However, I just like to like slip it in, and then I can just yeah, spice it up and change it out as I go. But if you don't want to use it as like some sort of wrapper for your booklets, you could of course just slide it in between the in between the individual booklets. So separately, like some sort of dashboard. Just like that, and then you could use this to, I don't know, add some sticky notes to it, that you can just write things down and then you can just lift them back off once the task is done. So like a daily dashboard, daily to-do dashboard, that's another option. If you don't want to use this as some sort of wrapper for your planner booklets. However, again, I really like to do this because yeah, this kind of gives me the option or the possibility to kind of slightly spice up my planner, even though I'm not doing a lot of decorating inside my planners anymore. I'm more working like a bullet journal style without lots of decorating. But I kind of like to have at least the covers nicely yeah, decorated in a cute way, just in a way that kind of makes me happy looking at it. And then I can would just kind of spice up the whole planner in the current theme. Like in this case, a maritime, nautical, sail away type of themed. Yeah, and then just keep this for as long as I like, and then I can just go back in and spice it up again once I'm kind of fed up with this theme. Then I can just switch to a different one or to another one. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this, guys. Hope you like this cute little sailor girl and the journal cover we created together. Again, if you like this stamp set here, the Sail Away stamp set, you can find this in my online shop, along with all of the other stamps, the other designs that are still available. So the 3 summertime sets are still available. Let me just grab that real quick. This one and the Aloha Hawaii one, the pool party one. But there are also some of the others available, like this Eat, Sleep, Plan one is still available. Perfect the Way I Am, Body Positive stamp set. The Nerdy Girl, this is almost sold out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another batch because this was already the second rerun with this one. Mermaid one is sold out. The Unicorn is sold out right now. The Mindfulness stamp set is still available, I think, yeah, if I'm right, yeah. Happy Mail is back in stock. I just did a reorder of those. So if you like to send Happy Mail, this one's still available. Let Your Light Shine, this one is still in the shop as well. With the crystals, the Flower of Life, Moon. The Book Nerd, I'm not sure, I think it's sold out. Yeah, right now it's sold out. I might do another run of those because they went really well and I just think she's adorable. Cats and Dogs, Wet Nose Kisses, Perfect Cats, those two are still a couple left, I think, yeah. And the Rose Girl is currently sold out. So yeah, just check out the shop because obviously if you're watching this video at a later point, this might look completely different, so just follow the link and you will just see which ones are available right now. Okay guys, so that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it inspired you. Again, if you create something inspired by this, feel free to tag me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. I would love to take a look. Again, if you enjoyed this video and if you're new to my channel, yeah, I would be super happy if you would subscribe to my channel. Just hit that subscribe button down there and that little bell to receive notification once I upload new videos. Yeah, and give it a thumbs up, of course, if you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And other than that, see you again soon. Bye, folks!